So something that you should get used to over the course of the next 4 years, or at least certainly the first year of Donald Trump's presidency, is doing things late on Friday night, hoping that the fervor and the controversy surrounding whatever that move is will dissipate by Monday. And this is what took place on Friday night when Donald Trump fired 3 4-star generals and military lawyers that are there to ensure that the law is followed relative to rules of engagement and military personnel behavior. They're a guardrail against illegality. Members of the JAG Corps, Judge Advocate General. So I got a few clips here. One is Pete Hegseth running to Fox News like the simp and coward he is for a friendly interview where Shannon Bream asks him about these firings. First, about 4-star General C.Q. Brown, Air Force General, 4-star General, served his entire career, decades of a career, honorably serving his nation, and now unceremoniously fired. And really the only reason that we can come to is that he's black. Pete Hegseth said, well, he's not going to meet the moment. He's not the right man for the moment. I think what Pete Hegseth means is he's not the right color for the moment for Donald Trump. I think that's pretty clear, because the man with whom he's been replaced is a retired 3-star general, a 3-star general to be the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And then we're going to get to why Donald Trump actually picked that guy. And it may or may not have something to do with he told Donald Trump, according to Donald Trump, that I love you, sir. I think you are great, sir. I'll kill for you, sir. I guess he would have to do that from the cockpit of a fighter jet because he's an Air Force general. Not a lot of hand-to-hand combat being done by Air Force generals. But first, here is Pete Hegseth setting the stage for why the black man was fired and the less capable, less qualified, less filled with merit, certainly merit, wouldn't that indicate rank and experience? No? Anyway, here's Pete Hegseth, the not drunk at all defense secretary, explaining it to Fox News' Shannon Bream.
And I have a lot of respect for C.Q. Brown. I got to know him over the course of a month. He's an honorable man, not the right man for the moment. And ultimately, the president made that call. And Dan Raisin Kane is going to be a fantastic chairman. I look forward to working with him. And he will give straightforward advice, as he did to President Trump, on the defeat of ISIS. No one else said it could be done in a matter of weeks. Raisin Kane said it could. And guess what? It happened. And the president respects leaders who untie the hands of warfighters in a very dangerous world. I think Dan Kane's the man to meet the moment.
Okay.
Again, not the right man for the moment means not the right color for the moment. His pigmentation wasn't the right color for Donald Trump. For the racist, everything's DEI that I don't like, racist white supremacist. While the Secretary of Defense, with his white nationalist tattoos, breaks the news to the country on the propaganda outlet Fox News. So here is Donald Trump from last year's CPAC, but I had to track this clip down. Here he is explaining when he met John D. Kane, Raisin Kane, the general who is now the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. And this tells you everything you need to know about the qualifications for these individuals. It's not a qualification. It's not merit. It's how much fealty and loyalty do you show to Donald Trump. And this is about as gross as it gets.
I'm walking down and I'm looking down and I see these central casting people. A general, another general, a colonel, a staff sergeant, could be in any movie. These guys, it's like perfect. They're like perfect individuals. If I were casting a movie on the military, I would pick these guys. There's nobody you could hire in Hollywood that looks like this. So I walked down, and this is where I met General Raisin Kane. And what's your name? General, what's your name? And he gave me his name. What's your name, Sergeant? Yes, sir, and I love you, sir. I think you're great, sir. I'll kill for you, sir. Then he puts on a Make America Great Again hat. You're not allowed to do that, but they did it. I remember I went into the hangar, and there were hundreds of troops. And they're not supposed to do this, but they all put on the Make America Great Again hat. Right? Not supposed to do it. I said, you're not supposed to do that. You know that. They said, it's okay, sir. We don't care. We don't care.
I love you, sir. I think you're great, sir. I'll kill for you, sir. And then donning, against military regulations, a MAGA hat. But we don't care. They don't care. We'll break the rules. We'll break the law for you, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's okay with that because it's in service to his insecurity, his cowardice, his weakness. Maybe more concerningly, though, they fired military lawyers in the JAG Corps. Lawyers meant to hold them accountable. Lawyers meant to keep troops from committing horrific acts. Pete Hegseth is asked a direct question. He's posed a quote from a Georgetown law professor. And then he says, no, I don't know who that is or what that's about. But, and then he answers the reason that they were fired, giving the same reason that he just disagreed with. It's a nightmare out there, folks. This is the defense secretary, the top of the Pentagon, who is either too stupid to understand the quote that was laid out before him, or he's such a skilled propagandist, I don't think that's it, that he just disagrees with the quote and then restates the quote as though it's his opinion. And the opinion is a problem. Watch this.
Branches. For people who may not know, I mean, they give advice to the military about what is lawful and what isn't. Not surprisingly, there's been some backlash to those who are worried about their removal. One Georgetown law professor says this: Trump also firing the Army, Navy, and Air Force JAGs. In some ways, that's even more chilling than firing the 4 stars. It's what you do when you're planning to break the law. You get rid of any lawyers who might try to slow you down. Your response to her?
Yeah, I don't know who Rosa is and what her hyperbole is all about. Ultimately, we want lawyers who give sound constitutional advice and don't exist to attempt to be roadblocks to anything that happens in their spots. What we know about these TJAGs, they're called TJAGs inside the military. Traditionally, they've been elected by each other or chosen by each other, which is exactly how it works often with the chairman as well. Small group of insulated officers who perpetuate the status quo. Well, guess what? Status quo hasn't worked very well at the Pentagon. It's time for fresh blood.
It bears repeating. Trump also firing the Army, Navy, and Air Force JAGs. That's even more chilling than firing the 4 stars. It's what you do when you're planning to break the law. You get rid of any lawyers who might try to slow you down. You get rid of any lawyers who might try to slow you down. Your response, Pete Hegseth? And he says, no, we want lawyers who don't exist to be roadblocks to anything that happens. Doesn't a roadblock slow you down, Pete? Isn't a roadblock, isn't it also an obstacle which would slow someone down when they're attempting to break the law? Kind of the same thing, right, brother? Right? Maybe, just maybe, put the glass down. Extricate your mind from the prison that is drunkenness for 5 minutes and listen to the words that are being posed to you by even the propagandists at Fox News. They're even concerned about what's taking place. They're asking actual legitimate questions to which you're not giving answers. The game is laid bare. This is a white supremacy government run by white supremacists at the highest levels who happen to be, what a coincidence, Republican Party, who just coincidentally is the same party that for years I've called the most organized, most effective white supremacy organization on the planet. And here we are, firing the black fella because he's black. He's more qualified. He's more capable. He has achieved more merit in his life. Yet the guy with less rank, less merit is going to be put into his position. If that's not DEI, it's not. But in their minds, according to the conservative Republican definition of DEI, this is it. What do you think? If you served in the military, I'd love your opinion. Otherwise, what do you think out there? You can click below, comment in the comment section. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at Dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work. If you have an extra couple bucks laying around that you don't mind falling out the window when you drive and you want to throw it my way to help me produce these videos and reach the tens of millions of people that I do, especially this month, big month this month, you can do so by clicking the join button below, becoming a channel member for $1.99 a month, or you can go over to my Patreon page, separate but different and better for the channel because they take way less money than YouTube does. Patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you guys very much. I'll see you next time. And until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.